It's interesting to me at this moment in time. I'm watching Brennan all over the cable airwaves, like in the last 24 hours. How many times has he's been on at least twice, maybe 3 times. He's trying to get his side of the story out there on that little flailing little MSNBC network that even Comcast doesn't want to have anything to do with. Bye, 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 bye. Anyway, he's out there trying to sell his story, and I don't think anyone's buying it. He wants the deep state to exist so that the deep state can push a particular narrative. Listen to him.
To preserve what we believe to be our democracy.
Yeah. And it's particularly important for people who I think are nonpartisan or apolitical like me. I'm not a registered Democrat or Republican. I eschew politics, quite frankly.
No, by the way, he's not partisan. He's just ABT. Anyone but Trump. Let's continue to listen to Mr. Brennan.
Mm-hmm. I served 6 presidents, 3 Democrats and 3 Republicans. I didn't agree with all the policies of any of them, but yet I respected them. I thought that what they were doing was what they thought was in the best interest of the United States. But our institutions, the Department of Justice, the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, Defense Intelligence Agency, all of these really are so critically important to our national security, but also global peace and security. And when we see these institutions being torn down and being used as political footballs, this is really detrimental to, I think, our interests as a country. And that's why I think it's important for people to speak out, not to do it for political reasons, but to call people out when they're saying things that are wrong, when they're misrepresenting, mischaracterizing.
Excuse me, weren't you the guy who told us it was Russian misinformation? Well, you and Clapper and Comey and everybody else to say that Hunter Biden laptop was actually authentic and belonged to Hunter. Weren't you actually the same crew of characters that said, no, that virus that we got hit with in March 2020, that could not have possibly come from that lab in Wuhan, China, where they were doing gain-of-function research and, in fact, actually using some U.S. taxpayer dollars, it's now come out to create that thing. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Like, there's only so much trust that's left, but let's continue just listening to the rest of his swan song here as he tries to plead his case on the only place that will hear it, MSNBC.
Isn't the facts? Because the American people are going to all the different news organizations, and they're being misinformed. And so, quite frankly, I don't blame a lot of people who have the misimpressions because they're being fed these false narratives. I do blame the people in Congress, the people who know better, but continue to deceive and continue to mislead for just craven political purposes. That is something that really irritates me.
One of the things that I keep thinking about all the time is you talk about that global aspect of this.
Okay. I mean, for real? After everything we've been through and all the lies you guys have been caught in, you actually sit there on MSNBC and you blame everyone else. I mean, it's actually, that takes some serious cojones, shall we say. I mean, like, the guy's like just willing to just brazenly get up there and lie and continue to spin and say that he's doing this and it's to save the world and to save the country. And I'm like, buddy, like that ship has sailed. I'm telling you, they're going to have a real problem. Going back to those poll numbers that we were talking about earlier in the show, when you're looking at the lowest numbers in 35 years and you see, 26% approval rating, nobody likes the Democrat Party right now. You know why? We figured out the Democrat Party was lying to us nonstop. For how long? I mean, we're going on top. Not to mention, if they weren't lying, apparently they were making money, something you're not allowed to talk about either. Nancy Pelosi getting caught with her pants down effectively by that guy, Jake Tapper, who's trying to redeem himself in some way, shape, or form. Don't buy anything he says. Anyway, here's Nancy at least getting asked the question on how it is that she's got a bigger stock portfolio than kind of like anyone. She's beaten Warren Buffett. She's beaten hedge funds. I mean, forget about it. Nobody can do as well as Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi became rich.
Why do you have to read that? We're here to talk about the 60th anniversary of Medicaid. That's what I agreed to come to talk about.
But I wanted
what that means in the election.
I wanted to give you a chance just to respond. He accused you of insider trading. What's your response to that?
That's ridiculous. In fact, I very much support the trading of members of Congress. Not that I think anybody's doing anything wrong. If they are prosecuted and they go to jail. But because of the confidence it instills in the American people, don't worry about this. But I have no concern about the obvious investments that had been made over time.
Okay.
I'm not in.
No concern. Well, you know what? The rest of us kind of have a few concerns, just a few concerns. So again, the Democrat Party really, really struggling is nobody believes anything that they're saying right about now. And so John Brennan, you can keep hitting the cable airwaves, but you know what? It's falling on deaf ears. We played a soundbite actually just yesterday in this show about a woman on MSNBC saying one of the reasons Democrats are not resonating and they're not getting the word out is because they keep going on shows that are considered friendly territory, right? Whether it be CNN, where Nancy's like, how dare you ask that? That's not what we agreed for me to talk about. Or MSNBC, which has effectively become a form of deep state media. I can't say state media right now, right? Because Donald Trump's in the Oval Office, but a kind of deep state media for the quote unquote resistance. And so there is no diversity of opinion over there, and they're not going to hold any of these people to the fire. And the American people know it, which brings us full circle back to why are they here? Reminder, subscribe, share, like, all of that good stuff. How is it that Trish Regan can just start a show? You know, we just hang up a shingle effectively a couple of years ago, coming on live with you guys every day. And you know what? We're approaching 1 million subs. And that is because there's a truth here, a transparency here, occasionally too much transparency here, if you would, right? Didn't we have that the other day? I literally, in yesterday's show, the live feed went down and we had to start again. So occasionally, from my perspective, too much transparency, and that I want to be able to deliver a flawless product to you guys at all times, always. But you know how the sausage is made, so to speak, and you're in on it, and we're in on this together. And yes, you're here for my analysis and my reaction to a lot of the sound bites that I do play you from all different sides. It's important to me that you hear all of those sides. And I know sometimes it's annoying. It's like, my gosh, do we have to really listen to Brennan? Well, you need to know what Brennan's saying in order to understand when you know what the facts are, and he's out there spinning something else entirely. You need to understand that in order to understand how significant a crisis this is. Really, and why people are demanding accountability at this moment in time.